Shreya, please confirm if you're live now. Great. Shreya, hope the audio is also active, the YouTube link that we have already connected to that too. Perfect. Great. So, starting in five, the count of five, five, four, three, two, one. Good morning to all. On behalf of PhD Chamber of Commerce and Industry, I would like to welcome you all for the second edition of Grace Hybrid Expo 2021. What a week it has been with more than 40 countries representation and a remarkable number of 5,000 plus visitors. Registrations, PhD International Week 2 2021 has turned out to be one of the most effective medium in the testing times of COVID to cater to the international market. I feel honored and it's a privilege to be present among such a learned audience. Before we proceed, we would like to thank Enterprise Estonia, our session sponsors, for always supporting PhD CSA's initiatives. I would like to give a brief overview about Estonia. India has a long-standing historical links with Estonia. India recognized the Republic of Estonia on 9 September 1991, and the diplomatic relations were established on 2nd December of the same year. Since then, the bilateral relations continue to be cordial and friendly. The Embassy of India in Helsinki is concurrently accredited to Estonia. Estonia opened its embassy in New Delhi in the month of March 2012. As per the information of Ministry of External Affairs of India, Estonia's bilateral relation, the Startup Visa, managed by Estonia's Ministry of the Interior and the Startup Estonia, received the most number of applications from India. Under the scheme, both entrepreneurs from India and startup founders with a viable tech-based business model products can apply for a startup visa. India's 10 incubators and 13 startups participated in Latitude 59 in the month of May 2019 in Tallinn, an event which connects startups to VCs and investors. Work in Estonia seeks to introduce Estonia as an attractive living and working destination to potential talented would-be employees worldwide. They work towards simplifying the process for local companies to employ overseas experts. 2,700 Indians have become e-residents of Estonia, which allows them to set up a location independent business enterprise in Estonia. The number would be increased. The data currently available is for 2019. There are about 1195 persons of Indian community in Estonia, including 774 citizens and an estimated 421 PIOs in Estonia. There are 211 students pursuing postgraduate and doctoral courses in engineering and science. There are some professionals also. Indian citizens are largely engaged in business and hospitality sector in Estonia. Without taking much of your time, I would request Mr. Vinod Baslial, Trade and Investment Advisors Enterprise Estonia, Embassy of Estonia, India, to take it over from here. Vinod, it's all yours.
Thank you, Mayank. Thank you for the introduction. First of all, a very good afternoon and good morning to all the viewers from different parts of the world. As again, my name is Vinod Baslial, and I'm the Trade and Investment Advisor with Embassy of Estonia. We are at New Delhi in India. Just to give a brief introduction, we are a small Baltic nation located in Northern Europe, and we are globally renowned for our ICT related expertise. And our companies, like you must have heard them, Skype, Bolt, TransferWise, Pipedrive, they speak in volume about the prowess and the success stories of our potential. We are very glad to participate at PhD International Week, and we would really like to utilize the platform offered by your two flagship programs, that is GRACE, that is Global Residency and Citizenship Expo, and GTI, that is Global Trade and Investment Expo, to attract and cater to the interest requested by the Indian side who are looking to scout for different opportunities in Estonia. For today's Estonian exclusive sessions, we have distinguished speakers from Estonia who, with a common agenda of Estonia promotion. And we look forward for your rewards, and we would highly appreciate if you have some feedbacks for us. I think without wasting time, we can move on to the video part. Mayank.
We'll be playing the video now. Thank you so much. Shreya, take it over from here. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon, namaskar. Thank you for inviting me. It is such a pleasure to introduce you my country, which is one of the most digitalized countries in the world, if not the most digitalized one. But let me start with reminding you that in August 2019, when I started my tenure in New Delhi, India paid its first high-level visit to Estonia, as Indian Vice President Venkaiah Naidu came to Tallinn together with a large business delegation. His visit definitely put Estonia into focus, and we have seen increasing interest and business opportunities since then. During the same visit, Estonia and India have signed 2 MOUs on cybersecurity, e-governance, and other digital technologies. These agreements gave a great basis for our future cooperation, and we should really make the most of it. Both countries have significant achievements in digital technologies, and mutual beneficial cooperation can only amplify these achievements. There is a lot we can do together, despite the fact that Estonia is a very small country compared to India. Estonia is well known for its efficient e-governance and use of blockchain technology. We have been voting online since 2005, and we are world leaders in cybersecurity. Almost all public services are available online, be it filing taxes, registering childbirth, extending your driver's license, etc. Estonia's private sector is digitally highly advanced too. We have several companies that work on digital technologies in the field of cybersecurity, e-governance, artificial intelligence, financial technology, health technology, and education technology, just to name a few. Our unique digital society and e-governance has been built up also thanks to these companies, thanks to public-private partnership. Some of these companies have already found their partners and way to India and work here on the Indian market. There are more than 3,000 Estonian e-residents from India, and they have established more than 500 companies in Estonia. We have several great examples of companies established by Indian e-residents, such as Velmeni, that is using unique optical wireless data transmission solution. Mukesh Ambani is an Estonian e-resident, and he has set up a Geo Research Center in our country. Another example from Indian IT industry is Tata Consultancy Service, which is also enlarging its presence. For established founders, entrepreneurs, and startups, we have a special visa program, and Estonia is a pioneer also to establish digital nomad visa program. Unfortunately, the pandemic has not let us take full advantage of these programs, but e-residency is something that allows access to European Common Single Market by establishing company in Estonia while being physically in India or elsewhere. During these trying times of COVID-19 pandemic, when it is difficult and unsafe to travel, it's a wonderful opportunity to run your European business fully remote. Establishing, filing taxes, everything is doable online. From the perspective of outbound investment from India that has undergone a considerable change, not only in terms of magnitude, but also in terms of geographical spread and sectorial composition, investment outlook of Estonia is very positive. Courtesy to our geographical location, known as Gateway to Europe, ease of doing business, most competitive tax system, highly transparent operations, stable and proactive government and its policies, world-class highly skilled manpower who are multilingual, and global orientation of our people and companies makes us a dynamic and progressive country worth exploring. Ladies and gentlemen, Estonian representation in India is ready to facilitate any kind of cooperation in the areas I just mentioned, as it is beneficial for both of us. We should definitely create more awareness about our respective ecosystems so that in India, our smart and very professionally executed solutions are better known. For Estonian companies, it is also important to know more about the immense opportunities in India. We are happy to witness that the interest of Estonian companies towards India has grown significantly too, and we aim to keep up the interest. This is something we can do together with an embassy of India in Helsinki that covers also Estonia. But this year, India has also undertaken to open its embassy in Tallinn. Let me conclude by a quote. Innovation is no longer a choice, but it is a default setting for an ambitious economy. So there aren't really any obstacles to cooperate even more. Let's do it then as from now on for the benefit of our two countries. Thank you so much for your attention.
Each one of us has 24 hours a day. What matters is how we use them. In Estonia, we've created a business environment that lets you thrive, where you can focus on getting things done, where you can realize ideas that make a difference, and where no goal is unachievable.
Good afternoon. I'm honored to be addressing you at the exclusive Estonian session organized as part of International Week hosted by PhD Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Despite the challenges the pandemic has presented, it has also created opportunities and encouraged us to explore our new horizons. We are living in what is known as the Asian century. Global outlooks are shifted towards the rapidly growing economies in Asia. Estonian exports to India have grown 45.5% in the last year, and given the ambitions and strengths of both India and Estonia, we believe there is potential for increased partnerships and bilateral success. Enterprise Estonia, or EAS, is a national foundation that aims to develop Estonian economy through three principal areas of activity: developing Estonian enterprises and boosting export capacity, increasing tourism revenue, and bringing high-value added foreign investments to Estonia. Our activities contribute to achieving the long-term strategic goals of the Estonian economy and our further aim of achieving increased competitiveness in the global market. This competitiveness can be achieved through fostering international cooperation and partnerships. Estonia's exports to India have grown at a rapid speed, with potential for further development. In the past 3 years, more than 300 companies have actively been pursuing business in India. Last year, Viveo Hills at Telehills Innovator Forum Estonia announced its entry into India to offer its range of digital healthcare solutions, including telemedicine. This came at the time where the pandemic has increased demand for remote consulting platforms. Estonia is one of the most digitally advanced nations. Our service sector accounts to 70% of GDP, and India is a strategically important market attractive for Estonian entrepreneurs due to this large growing base of consumers. We have the necessary means to take advantage of various business opportunities in India that can be pursued through active programs like e-residency and Startup Estonia. Given the growth potential of both India and Estonia, we believe combining the strengths of the two in an international partnership will benefit both parties. We hope to foster a partnership that also advances Indian interests. Strategic geographical presence, attractive ecosystem of innovation, beneficial tax structure, stable government, and highly skilled personnel. These characteristics give Estonia a distinctive advantage over our counterparts and provide a solid platform for upscaling and expanding business operations. Estonia has already become a home for many software development companies, payment processing businesses, blockchain developers, and innovator peer-to-peer lending platforms. For example, after Reliance Industries chairman and managing director Mukesh Ambani became an e-resident of Estonia, the multinational conglomerate also set up a research center for the telecommunications company Jio to better understand the digital Estonian society and the benefits it can offer to India. In fact, also Estonia is 132nd smallest country in the world by landmass. It produces more startups per capita than any other country in Europe. We honor the values of self-reliance and Make in India and strive to partner with India to chart new courses in various conventional and unconventional sectors. I am more than confident that our globally renewed companies and comprehensive ecosystem of innovation can give rise to many synergies. We wish all the best to PhD Chamber with its International Week and would like to use this platform to increase cooperation and better understand your interests in order to form long-term partnership between India and Estonia.
Achieved a digital revolution of the entire education system and top rankings in PISA testing and international Olympiads, while incubating brilliant edtech companies and much more? First, the innovative startup mindset. We are confirmation that the significant changes decisively implemented in the 90s have worked thanks to innovative reforms. We dare to change things. Nowadays, we change the whole world piece by piece. Home of Skype, TransferWise, Bolt, and others, Estonia has one of the highest number of startups per capita, which includes brilliant edtech companies reshaping the education scene. Second, the digital society. Project Tiger Leap, proposed by now former President of Estonia, Toomas Hendrik Ilves, led to the digitization of the whole public sector from governance to tax returns, boosting innovation and transparency in many fields. In education, for example, there's eSchool, an online platform working as an e-diary, a learning environment and report card for students, a communication channel for teachers and parents, and a source of valuable statistics for state and municipalities. With many textbooks digitized, much of an Estonian student's school bag is in the cloud. But third, and perhaps most important of all, the ambition and curiosity to learn. Through the generations, Estonians have held education in school in high esteem. Schools maintain a high degree of autonomy to create their curriculum and learning methodology. Lifelong learning has become a lifestyle. And not just schools and students, but the whole country takes pride in the top rankings in PISA testing and international Olympiads. This is how you become an education nation like Estonia, a place for the smartest people in the world. You can become one too. For consultancy, contact us at educationnation.ee.
Good morning or afternoon to everyone in India and in Estonia. It's great to be joining you today from the beautiful city of Tallinn. My name is Anett Numa and I work as a digital transformation advisor at the Estonia Briefing Center, also known as the innovation hub that inspires global leaders how to build a more efficient e-governance services and a business environment, which we are going to especially focus on today here. So in the next 10 minutes, we are focusing on digitalization, especially in the business sector, and why Estonia is an excellent place where to run your business. But not to waste any more time, I would like to kick off with the very first slide here. So before we talk about the main aspects about the business sector, I also need you, all of you, to understand how this entire society here has been built. So Estonian infrastructure relies on 3 pillars, which are absolutely essential, especially also when we talk about the business sector. First, we have confidentiality, secondly, availability, and as a third thing here, integrity side. Speaking of confidentiality, I guess every one of you know that if you want to run your business and if you want to do these things online, such as signing documents online, managing all your paperwork, then you need to be able to identify yourself in the most secure way. And this is what we have been thinking through already more than 20 years ago. So we have the electronic ID card, which was introduced in the year 2002. We also use mobile ID, smart ID solutions, e-residency solutions, and all of these solutions help our business leaders to identify themselves whenever they want to do something in our e-business platforms. And secondly, of course, also different businesses and institutions need to be able to exchange their information. And therefore, we also introduced in the year 2001 the system called the X-Road, where again, different institutions, public or private institutions, can very securely exchange the most up-to-date information. And as a third thing, when a country has everything working fully online, it is of course also very essential that the security and stability has been provided. And regarding the integrity side, so we also use the blockchain system even in our e-business environment sector. And also Estonia does have a data embassy, which is our backup plan, so that when some information would be leaked or lost or something would happen, then we would be able to also get our information back from our data embassy, which is currently based in Luxembourg. So this was just the overview regarding the infrastructure, so that you would understand that why all of our business leaders are willing to run their things fully online, and they don't sign documents and papers anymore or manage anything on paper anymore, because we have provided this very stable infrastructure that is based on these 3 pillars. But now to move on here and get to the business environment aspects here. So today we have created a business environment that is very, very simple and one of the fastest ones in the entire world, because it just takes you maximum few hours to start a new business. So you can be wherever you are in the world, you can create a new business, manage all your stuff, again, fully remotely. Actually, saying just 2 hours, it's even too much, because usually it takes around 15 minutes to create a new business, like when you operate fully on our e-business platforms and when you're already familiar with all these things there. We also have provided a very much paperless and hassle-free e-taxation system. So also our business leaders wouldn't have to be spending that much time on the taxation part, and they can focus on their own ideas, not the just difficult like paperwork and managing all these kind of reports and so on. It has to be simple and very fast, so that it would attract people to come over here, run their business here, because the main focus can be based especially on the ideas and innovation side, not just hassling with your taxation in a way. And we would also try to provide opportunities for people that are not Estonians to run their business also by using our platforms, and that's why we also introduced the e-residency solution, and also digital nomad visa, which I will be talking about in a second. A little more in details about the e-residency solution. So it helps everyone to establish and manage their business fully remotely. And as Estonia belongs to the European Union, this card also gives everyone an opportunity to run their business in the European market, so offer their solutions all across the European Union. And then, of course, also, again, use all of our platforms, which are very secure and stable, which I already have said thousands of times here. And of course, also legally to sign all of their documents online, so that if you have your business partners in different places in the world, and when all of them have the residency card, so you don't really need to send anything on paper basis anymore, but you can easily do that also just by using the digital signature, which is provided for you by the residency solution. So it's actually pretty simple in a way. And then, of course, it gives you an excellent opportunity to be joined by this great community of like-minded people who have some great innovative ideas as well. But how does this process actually look like, how to get the card? So everyone who is interested in running their business by using the e-residency solution and enjoying our platforms can easily just apply for the card by doing that fully online. So you can submit your application and get your digital identity. We will just make sure that your background is okay. You shouldn't be a criminal for that, obviously. Then you can, of course, also go to the Estonian embassy to pick up the card, where we will be sending the card, as there are not many Estonian embassies in the world. So we are currently also trying to implement different other locations and service providers that can also give over this card, but one physical visit is still needed. And why is that? Because we want to make sure that you actually exist, so that we can also get rid of all these kind of potencies and the threats to the system in a way. And then if you already have the card, then you can easily just choose a service provider for your company, register a company in Estonia together with help, or if you're able to do that by yourself, then you can also easily do that. And then, of course, you can also apply for the business banking. You don't need to have an Estonian bank account, but you can also just find a fintech company that would provide you the marketplace, and then you can also just manage your business without having an Estonian bank account, but just using an international fintech company. And then, of course, then that would be the time that you can participate in this community, again, be an active member of different networks globally, get inspired by the other stories. And currently there is 78,000 people who already have this e-residency card. And I was just checking before our call today that there is 3,500 people from India that already have the card, and Indian people have been establishing already more than 600 companies. So that's actually a pretty big number, I would say. So I would encourage all of you also, if you want to be part of this, an amazing initiative, or also if you want to run your business remotely in the European Union, then that will be a chance for all of you guys. But a little bit also about the numbers. So today, as everything is working online, so 98% of our companies are fully established by using the online platforms. 99% of our banking transactions are fully done online. When speaking about the tax declarations, Estonian citizens also declare the taxes fully online already since the year 2000, and the last statistic showed us that 98% of our tax declarations were fully filed online, which is again an amazing number that shows you that we very much trust this system. And if you ask us what would be the future and where Estonia is currently heading, so we would like to have very much seamless e-services available 24 hours. So this is currently what we are fully focusing on in order to provide access to services that will be working proactively, so that also our citizens could get like proactively some offers from the state and maybe the benefits that they're not even aware of in a way. And of course, also we're trying to make sure that our business platforms are easy to use, are working very smoothly, and the information would be exchanged on a once-only basis, so that when you submit your information once, you don't really need to do that over and over again. And of course, also when it comes to the business sector, we would like to develop different AI solutions, again, to make everything working much faster and more efficient. And we will continue to do also cross-border digital governance with many other countries, so that also our systems would be linked to each other and would match with each other when Estonian wants to move abroad, or the other way around. So this is also what we're currently working on as well. But maybe now also to just talk about some of the lessons that we have learned. So one very important aspect that I wanted to bring it out here was that how important the entire decision making it is from this side. So the government fully has to be there to supporting these kind of initiatives, and to make different systems is to be working very transparent, flexible, and they have to be understandable for absolutely everyone, because you can't run e-business if you don't trust the government, if you don't trust the systems. So that's why everything has to be working on a very good and transparent communication methods, and everyone needs to understand what's behind there. So this is where we have been focusing on a lot. And of course, also to organize different campaigns to raise awareness of people, what kind of opportunities they have, and like what kind of things that they can do online. And just encourage people to be more active also when it comes to running businesses, because no wonder why today Estonia has around 6 unicorns, which is the highest number per capita. And again, if you provide a very transparent and friendly business environment, then you attract businesses to come over here to start their ideas, to work on their ideas here, because they can fully focus on that in a way. And then of course, all these success story has been happening because since the very early days, we have been working very closely together with our private sector, so that also when we see any kind of need for the changes, then we always communicate this to the private sector, ask for the help, or of course also sometimes private sector is suggesting some of the ideas, what we should be changing. And I think again, it's every single government's like responsibility to provide this very flexible system and to listen to your business owners, because the better the business sector is doing, the better we are doing. So I think it's pretty clear that where business is easy, business will grow, and we have kept this in mind for many years already. But again, I would bring it out here that the communication is an important aspect. So if you do cooperation together with public-private sector and add also academia there, then that's where the real magic can happen. So I like to call it like a triangle magic that could happen when this cooperation is working super smoothly. So this was just a very quick 10 minutes overview what we have been doing here by the business aspects and the governance sector. And I do hope that maybe you understand a little bit better the importance of building digital services, because it is becoming more and more important, and especially when we think about the time of the crisis, when everyone has to be operating fully online, and therefore the security has to be provided there. And I think Estonia is an excellent example how one country could manage these platforms and make sure that everyone feels safe here. And I don't feel safe by just environment, but the way that we do things anyway. So I would encourage everyone to take a little one step closer, either you're from private to public sector, to your partners, and work together with different sectors, because we're never alone in one sector, but we really have to support each other, come up with new ideas, and that's where some great things can happen. So I wish you a very pleasant end of the conference, and I hope this all was something very inspiring to you. And if you ever happen to travel to Estonia, you can get in touch with our eEstonia Briefing Center and come and see how this digital society actually works, and dive deep into aspects that you will be interested in. So thank you once again, and I wish you a very pleasant day.
Anyone can change the world. Estonians have always been striving for innovation in technology and our way of life. Our digital infrastructure and our citizens' readiness to use new technology is your chance to test new products and services more effectively and receive faster feedback. Innovation and change is the end result of all true learning and education. Think of Estonia's smart business ecosystem as a test bed for your next innovation.
Our new digital world knows no borders, and great business ideas are no longer limited by where you work or live. eEstonia is a digital nation for global citizens, for those who've thrown off the shackles of national boundaries. Literally anyone in the world can apply. E-residency is legitimate and transparent, a government-issued digital identity that gives you the freedom to run a global EU company online from anywhere in the world. Establish a company within a day, access business banking, use international payment providers, digitally sign documents and contracts, and declare Estonian taxes online. We're Estonia. Tech is our expertise. And through e-residency, we are empowering entrepreneurs everywhere. No matter where you were born, no matter what passport you carry, you can apply. Use e-residency to run your business from anywhere in the world. Unleash your entrepreneurial potential, because no business should be bound by physical borders. Apply for e-residency today and join our new digital nation. e-resident.gov.ee. Free yourself from national borders and run a global EU company fully online in just 3 easy steps. Step 1. Fill out the simple online application. Pay a €100 state fee and await approval. Pick up your digital ID from an Estonian embassy, consulate, or other service point. Step 2. Choose a virtual office provider and register your company online. The state fee is just €190. After that, you can open accounts for business banking and payment processing. Step 3. Run your business remotely from wherever you are. Choose from our list of trusted service providers offering tailored services for all your business needs. From an assistant to run your virtual office, to an accountant to keep track of your earnings. It's really that simple. Think of Estonia as your digital home away from home. Apply for e-residency today and join our new digital nation. e-resident.gov.ee. While some countries push people away, Estonia pulls them in. What kind of problems can e-residency solve for an entrepreneur? Say you're a freelance writer in Ukraine and you need to receive international payments. E-residency enables it. Or maybe you run a startup in India and need access to cross-border capital to help scale internationally. E-residency allows it. What if you're a digital nomad or expat and want to run your company after you move to a different country? E-residency is the answer. You might be outside the EU, but want a trusted company registered inside the world's largest single market. E-residency can make it happen. Or if you're already an EU citizen, but you want to lower the cost and hassle of administrating your company, e-residency makes that possible. Maybe you have multiple board members all over the world. E-residency means board decisions and contracts can be legally approved online instantly. Whatever your nationality, whatever your situation, applying for e-residency is the best way to run a global EU company fully online with minimal cost and hassle. Apply for e-residency today and join our new digital nation. e-resident.gov.ee.
Hello, everyone. First of all, very big thank you to the organizers of India-Europe Day. My name is Leonardo Ortega, and I am the community manager for the Work in Estonia program, of which I will give you a brief introduction today. As we have learned from the previous presentations of my Estonian colleagues, information and communication technology sector plays a very important role in Estonia, with around 4,800 companies and 6% of the entire workforce of Estonia working in this sector. And this is not actually it. It actually continues to grow year by year. But Estonia's population, as we know, it's only 1.3 million. And where we get this is we need more people, more talents to make Estonia's digital success story even more successful. So that is why the Work in Estonia program was created in Enterprise Estonia. We work for Estonian companies in helping them find and keep people that they need from all over the world. And we are particularly focused in helping the ICT sector. In a nutshell, we focus our activities in 3 different areas. The first one is attraction, which basically means letting the talents know what Estonia has to offer for them professionally. The second stage is reception, which is when people have decided to come over to Estonia, and we want to make sure that they have a smooth transition to their new life. And the third one is adaptation and retention, meaning for the time that they are here after they have already settled in Estonia, that they actually have a good stay. And this actually in turn comes as a very handy attraction tool, because the more people come and the more happy they are, the longer they will stay, and also the more they will recommend to actually other peers. They will recommend Estonia as a living and working destination for them. Let me dive a bit more into these areas. Concretely, what do we do to attract talents? Well, the main message is that we try to promote Estonia as a destination for working and living to top IT professionals all around the world. So we engage in different international marketing and communication campaigns. That includes digital media, but also regular media, such as different advertisements. We also do joint recruitment campaigns with the companies. For example, we go to international tech conferences, we put a stand out, and then we explain directly to the people that are maybe interested in finding a job abroad what Estonia has to offer, what the companies actually have to offer, and thus way we have a direct contact with people that might be interested in coming to Estonia. And we do this through different communication channels, as I mentioned before. Social media, we have an active newsletter in English, and also we have the website workinestonia.com, which I would say is one of the main tools that we use. And this is a one single site where you can find all the information regarding moving and coming to Estonia. The second stage is reception. So let's say we have done a good job. Someone has seen our advertisements somewhere, they have come to our website, found a very good job, and then even convinced their family to come along to Estonia. So what we want to do is once they arrive, we want to make them feel that they have made the right decision and also help them with the transition so it will be smoother and simpler. And that is why we have created the International House of Estonia. And this is a one-stop shop kind of service that provides a wide range of essential information, both for the newcomers and also for the companies that have invited the newcomers here. The information comes in the form of consultations on an individual basis. It also, we organize the events or seminars at the International House. And also there are some public authority services, for example, the tax authority or the Tallinn City Council, which would be able to assist with some of the bureaucratic procedures that have to be made when arriving to Estonia. And actually, I was able to find some interesting facts about India. For example, that last year there were 123 consultations for Indian citizens. And this might not seem a lot, but actually means that every third day there was someone from India coming and getting support from the house. And what I was also able to find from some statistics is that 2 years ago, India became the third place in new residence permits for employment, as well as was on the top 5 for short-term employment visas in the year 2019, which means Estonia is becoming quite a popular place in terms of coming to working and living for Indian citizens. The third stage is adaptation and retention. So once the newcomer has settled and all the basic procedures have been completing, then for the next coming weeks, months, or years, they might have different questions about how to put a kid in kindergarten, how to get a family doctor, how to learn Estonian languages, so on and so forth. So as well through the International House and different other programs, then we are able to provide some sort of guidance in order to make the stay in Estonia as simple as possible. These are both for the employer and also for the employee. An example is the organizing of Estonian language studies, either in a classroom or also actually digitally. And for example, we have also prepared a relocation guide, which is kind of very compact, easy to read guide that is available in different languages, as well as both in printed and digital format, where it explains everything you need to know when you're living here in Estonia. There are different groups, events, and consultations, which at the moment are happening mostly online because of the current situation, but we hope as soon as possible we can get them going on again physically, which also will help to create a sense of community feeling among the newcomers to Estonia. And in addition to this, the Ministry of Interior has also created a program, which is a series of seminars, a bit longer seminars, that help you get a very 360-degree view of what is life in Estonia, how culture and society works here, and every sort of question while living here in Estonia. And so now that you have heard about what Work in Estonia program does, you're probably wondering then what is this that Estonia has to offer professionally for the talents and internationals all around the world. And actually, I can say for the first person experience that there's plenty that Estonia has to offer. As you can see, I'm not a very Estonian looking guy. Actually, I'm from Mexico, been living here in Estonia for 8 years. And I have said it's one of the best decisions I have made. And for example, don't take it from me, but take it from many of the expats that have lived in Estonia. It was rated #1 for digital life abroad by the expats in the Internations survey in 2019. So in addition to being the #1 digital society, which means that you can do most of the things online, all the communication with the state can be mostly doing from your phone or from your computer, like this guy that is sitting on the beach, probably doing its taxes. Then it leaves you more time to actually deal with whatever you want to do on your free time. Another point is that in Estonia, being a smaller country, then we have less competitions than in other countries. And because of the ICT sector thriving and growing, new companies are coming up. And that means that if you enter into a junior position, then in 1 or 2 years, you might be already in a senior position because of the fast advancement that you have here. There is also a great work-life balance. That is something that Estonians are very proud about. Work and stays at the office, and then later you can go ahead and do your things, for example. And also there is a very clean environment. I know this is also more and more important now. The territory of Estonia, 51% of it is covered in forest. So if you take a 5-10 minute drive somewhere outside of the city, then you will most likely find yourself in an isolated place like this guy, enjoying nature at its purest. And also one very important thing is that very stable and safe country. I even sometimes want to say that it's too safe, because even in the seashores, as you can see, there's not many waves going on around there. So what to do if you are interested? That is very simple. You come to the workinestonia.com website. You'll find all the English-speaking job offers available at the moment, mostly in the ICT sector. You select a job, and if you want, you can read about all the other information that you need about coming and working in Estonia. Once you complete the procedures and find a company, then come around here, and we will receive you with the open arms at the International House of Estonia, and we'll start off your questions. And after that, it's only you'll have time to adapt and to live your new life. And that's how simple it would be. But definitely, we will be able to help you with anything else. So thank you very much for your time and your attention. Do visit the workinestonia.com website. And if you happen to have any questions about the program or activities, my email is on the screen. And aitäh. Thank you very much.
Everyone has a talent. Something they are better at than almost anyone else. Raw talent without work gets you nowhere. But if you commit, you can become exceptional. You can make an impact. Estonia, the digital hub of Northern Europe.
Hello, everybody. I'm really happy to be part of this event. And let's kick things off. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about Estonian startup ecosystem today. My name is Sander Sillave. I am the marketing and partnerships lead for Startup Estonia. So Startup Estonia is the governmental organization here in Estonia, which is meant to be supercharge the Estonian startup ecosystem. And we want to create more international success stories. So we have had the goal that Estonia would have 1,000 startups by the end of last year as our one big goal. And I'm going to tell you a little bit later whether we've achieved that goal or not. But we are working in different pillars to achieve that goal. And we've worked in order to make funding more accessible for startups, meaning that we work together with international venture capital and local venture capital as well. We always want to make sure that the legislative environment is more clear and gives incentives for both for startups and for investors. For that, we're working closely together with the government in order to achieve that. And we want to have a good and collaborative startup ecosystem, which is all basis of that, what we're doing. So about our ecosystem here in Estonia, so it's growing rapidly. For the past 4 or 5 years, it has been growing for 30% per year, every year. And we have created a lot of new jobs, more than 6,000 of them, meaning that almost every 100 person in Estonia is somehow connected with startups. The startups are paying more and more employment taxes. They're creating more turnover, and they have raised a lot of money. So almost 2 billion euros in the last 12 years. And by 18th of March, so by yesterday, we have 1,124 startups in Estonia. So we've achieved that goal to have more than 1,000 startups, but we want to move forward. So here in Estonia, we consider, we have a definition for a startup, because we know that in every country, the definition for a startup can be different. And here we have it actually written down in a law. So in Estonia, startup is based on technology. It is innovative, has a repeatable and scalable business model with a fast global growth potential. So these are the types of startups we are working with. These are the types of companies we consider startups, and these criteria are all filled by the more than 1,100 startups we have here in Estonia. As you can see, Estonian startups have raised a lot of money, especially within the last 4 or 5 years, and the number of deals, number of investments has grown a lot as well. So this is kind of the one of the figures we watch closely to see that there would be a lot of funding available, and there are a lot of new startups who are getting those investments. So we always want to make sure that this is kind of in balance. So next off, something that we in Estonia are really proud of. So we have 5 different unicorn companies, meaning companies that are worth more than $1 billion. So there's kind of 2 waves of unicorn companies here in Estonia. So Playtech and Skype, which were founded in early 2000s or even before that, they're kind of the first wave of Estonian startups building on this kind of this early days success. And the next startups are following that success, because a lot of the people who were in early days involved with Skype, for example, are now building other startups, such as Wise, which is formerly known as TransferWise, which is a global fintech startup headquartered in London, but still they have their biggest office here in Tallinn with more than 1,000 people. Bolt, a global ride-hailing company, which during the pandemic times is now more connected with, additionally to the ride-hailing, they are connected to food delivery and other delivery services as well, and they have a lot of other small ventures that they're working on. And Pipedrive, which is a CRM for salespeople, and which was just acquired last year by Equity Vista, a US-based company, and they're now our newest unicorn. Just last November they made the exit, and we're keeping a close eye on the next success stories as well. So these types of companies are definitely the key base to our ecosystem success, because the founders of these companies, and yet alone the employees of these companies, they're starting new companies and they're building on to this success that we already have. So a lot of the founders and employees, they're willing to give back to the community by either putting their time and knowledge to new startups, or also investing in those new startups. So there's a lot of examples of that as well. And this big confusing graph shows how much support do we have here in the ecosystem for our startups. So we have more than 100 different startup support organizations here in Estonia that are working day to day in helping those startups, and we have those mapped out in our website, so you can have a further look there of what kind of incubators we have, accelerators we have, what kind of co-working communities, which type of mentoring is available, what kind of events do we have. So there's a lot of that available here in Estonia. And I'm going to touch upon the point of the Estonian Startup Visa. So this is another big priority for us in order to have more successful startups, and in order to have more people involved in our startup ecosystem. Since Estonia is such a small country, we don't have enough people to kind of to kind of match the growth that the startup ecosystem have. So together with the startup founders and together with our ecosystem leaders, we started the Startup Visa program back in 2017, which first was meant for our local startups in order to hire people from outside of Europe to come and work on those startups to support the growth. But we added the layer of the Estonian Startup Visa, which would be also for the founders of companies who want to relocate to Europe. And a lot of people have done that in the past 4 years. So as I said, it's both meant for attracting people from non-EU countries, founders and employees. And within those a bit more than 4 years already, more than 2,700 individuals have relocated or granted the right to move to Estonia. So that's a big amount of people, and we welcome them in our ecosystem with open arms, so to say. And when we look at the top countries where people have relocated from, for founders, it's Russia, Iran, Turkey, and India. And for employees that have come and work in Estonian startups, it's Brazil, India, Russia, and Ukraine. So India is both in the top for either founders or employees that have relocated to Estonia and found this program useful and have benefited from relocating to the Estonia and to the Estonian startup ecosystem. So just quickly about the process, you can see about it more in our website. But the first step is for the company to apply for the startup status, which means that it's looked to by an expert committee, which consists of 7 different members in our ecosystem. And once you get the green flag from there, then you can go and apply for the actual startup visa, either flying to Estonia and doing that in the Estonian Police and Border Guard, or you can do it in one of our embassies. And after that, it's on to the relocation. So more of that information is found in our website, startupestonia.ee/visa. And you can follow up to me about any of these topics as well. I'm going to put my email address in the end. So just quickly, why do people do that? So we've asked a lot of people, and it's kind of we can sum it up by the ease of access to the country. So the visa system works. You can access any type of C-level business people, advisors, venture capital, really easily. They're all just one person away here in Estonia in our small ecosystem. You can access the highest level of governmental officials really easily. And also rest of the EU markets once Estonia becomes too small. So these are kind of the core values of our ecosystem. And yes, we're definitely open to any Indian companies that want to relocate, or employees that want to relocate and work in Estonian startups, or also other partnership opportunities as well. So this is briefly it from my side. You can see more from our different social media channels on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We have a podcast, so definitely check that out from our website. And more information about that generally from our website. Or if you have any questions, then you can write to me in this email which you can see here. So thank you so much for your time. Enjoy the event, and greetings from Estonia.
People believe that robots could deliver things, but they think this is going to be far into the future. But this is actually today. At Starship, we like to solve big problems. We wanted to build a robot that could autonomously drive on the sidewalk and deliver packages, food, and groceries to people's doorsteps. I needed a very talented team, so I hired all the best engineers that I could find. It required a lot of experimentation, exploring something that had never been done in the world before. We were the first to really deploy robots in public spaces. Our robots are doing thousands of deliveries around the world every day and are doing as many miles as the leading autonomous driving companies. Especially now, during the pandemic, we are helping the communities by providing access to contactless deliveries. And people love our service. I'm happy to announce that we just completed our millionth delivery.
Hello, here's your delivery.
I loved how he just said hello.
Want to lower your CO2 emissions and costs while increasing energy efficiency? Find out how our ultracapacitors can help you. Ultracapacitors are an energy storage technology with high power density, almost instant charging and discharging, excellent reliability and long lifespans. Skeleton Technologies ultracapacitors are up to 4 times more powerful than those of our competitors and have multiple industrial applications, including specific solutions for industrial port cranes. We have developed Skelkers, a kinetic energy recovery system for RTG port cranes. Our system can reduce greenhouse gas emissions by more than 30% and is 8 times more economical than a fully electrified solution of similar requirements. Skelkers works by capturing and redistributing energy as freight is lowered and supplying energy as freight is lifted. Monitoring and system health checks are quick and easy. Our ultracapacitor solution can also be retrofitted onto existing cranes. Already in use at the H8 LA port in Muuga, Estonia, our solution has achieved 30% energy savings and a 9.5% decrease in fuel consumption. We also offer a crane peak shaving solution for STS port cranes. With our SkelGrid ultracapacitor solution, you can reduce peak load demand by up to 40% on your grid connection point, while mitigating voltage and frequency fluctuations. Cranes can be operated without interruption and without the need for oversized batteries. With Skeleton Technologies industrial solutions for port cranes, you will save energy, increase efficiency, reduce costs, reduce CO2 emissions, and forget about maintenance. Find out more about our solutions for industry applications at www.skeletontech.com.
Cleveron 501 is an outdoor parcel robot. It operates as a customer pickup point for online ordered grocery and general merchandise. The unit has been designed to offer a cost-effective alternative to the costly home delivery and standard buy online, pick-up in-store services. We offer different configurations in relation to the unit size and internal setup. We offer a 7-meter long and a 13-meter long unit. Both units are about 3 meters wide and 3.4 meters tall. The units come with different internal setups. You can order a unit with 1 temperature zone or with 2 different temperature zones. All our units have been designed to make the user experience for the end users and for the unit operators as convenient and simple as possible. Firstly, the operator needs to arrive with pre-packed online orders to the unit, log in with the passcode. Once they have been identified, they will just wait till the robot brings up an empty crate. After the empty crate is brought out, they'll need to scan their goods and put them into the crate. Then the robot stores the crates away and customers can come to pick the goods up. customer, of course, needs to finalize their online purchase. After that, they receive an order pickup code. That code is then used at the unit to pick up the goods. End user just scans the code or types in the pickup code numbers and then waits till the robot brings out all the goods. Our units can be installed in various locations. We see them installed next to supermarkets and metro stores. You can use them in busy inner city areas where rents are very high. You can use them in parking lots, petrol stations, next to busy roads. We see university campuses as a very good location for the units. So there are a number of locations where you can use the unit. Different locations require different approaches in relation to the unit's external design. We have a number of options. One option is to use your company's custom colors and branding on the unit. Another option is just to use a standard unit and use the sidewalls of the unit as advertisement spaces. Cleveron doesn't only supply hardware. We supply also software. That software is very easily integratable via a public API. Our units are also supported by our after-sales team. That team provides 24/7 monitoring, organizes spare parts, and manages international network of service partners. As you can see, Cleveron 501 offers a number of new business opportunities, and it helps you to take part of the journey with the ever-growing online grocery market.
Wow, what a great presentation that was. Kudos to Team Vinod Baslia's Enterprise Estonia, Embassy of Estonia, for putting up such a brilliant presentation. I think this is the best you can actually do to represent your country and represent the kind of opportunities that are available. I mean, it's pretty clear that Estonia provides array of opportunities, and there is still a lot more to explore. With this, in fact, I would like to thank all our delegates who are watching us on the virtual platform and as well as physically at PhD Chamber of Commerce and Industry in Delhi. Once again, thank you, Estonia Enterprise. We would like to have your physical presence and hopefully a delegation in the coming year. Things will definitely get better, and of course, physical presence will make a lot of difference in terms of engaging more audience for this particular cause. Thank you once again. Stay safe, stay healthy. Namaste. Thank you.
Are you seeking a better life for yourself and your family and planning to immigrate? Do you want to send your children abroad for higher education and save up to 80% in foreign education fees? Are you looking for a chance of globally expanding your business? If your answer to these questions is yes, look no further. Ajmera Law Group can turn your dreams into reality. Contact Ajmera Law Group at www.ajmeralaw.com. Call us 997425 3030. Write to us info@ajmeralaw.com.
Everybody has different reasons for coming here. Every country is a little bit different, but we work very, very hard to make sure that that is achieved for them and that they're comfortable and that they gain what they want. So a successful investor is successful for us. Welcome to the United States. We're here to assist, help you get settled in this country, or anything we can do to make sure that their journey and entry and landing in the United States is the best thing that they've ever done in their lives. That's our commitment. That's our objective.
As the daughter of an immigrant, I've always had a really big passion for immigration and helping people be able to immigrate to the United States. It's not an easy thing at all by any means. This is really a partnership. It's an honor to be able to help them not only with their immigration process, but also with some of the tertiary things that they may need as well. We really want to make sure that this is a smooth and prosperous journey for you and your family.
On the heels of its successful Phase 1 offering, Pine State Regional Center invites you to learn about Phase 2 of the successful Big River Steel project, a premier project in a rural targeted employment area. Pine State Regional Center is part of an economic development corporation founded by Winthrop Rockefeller in the 1950s. With a 60-year track record of success and integrity, a close working relationship with state and federal government, and a heavy emphasis on risk management, Pine State is an independent regional center and completely aligned with our investors. In July 2019, Pine State successfully finished the EB-5 raise for Phase 1 of the Big River Steel project. Big River Steel is one of the world's most advanced, high-grade steel recycling plants and answers the call of President Trump and the U.S. government to bring back manufacturing industry jobs to the heartland of the United States. Various members of Congress, including former House Judiciary Chairman Bob Goodlatte, have called it the poster project of what EB-5 was meant to be. Phase 1 of this EB-5 project successfully raised $60 million of EB-5 financing, and Big River Steel has already promoted economic growth, improved regional productivity, and created over 10,000 jobs, more than 8 times the jobs needed. Today, Big River Steel is one of the most profitable EB-5 projects ever, with over $1.3 billion in sales and $260 million in EBITDA profit in the first year of full operations. Now, Big River Steel is starting an $870 million expansion to double its capacity and create thousands of more jobs. Pine State's BRS Phase 2 is a unique opportunity for EB5 investors. Our investors will have the benefit of evaluating an expansion project of a company that is already extremely profitable. Using a bridge equity structure, Phase 2 is already fully financed. Big River Steel has an unusually high caliber of equity investors, including Koch Industries, one of the largest private industrial companies in the world, Texas Pacific Group, one of the top private equity groups in the world, and the Arkansas Teachers Retirement System, the largest pension fund in Arkansas. Phase 2 will have a large job cushion, mitigating the risk for a successful I-829 process. And finally, the project is located in a true rural targeted employment area and will continue to benefit from a lower investment price level. On behalf of Pine State Regional Center, we welcome your interest and look forward to working with you.
Hi, I'm Matt Hogan, Vice President of Project Development for CMB Regional Centers. I want to thank you for joining us here virtually. I know it's trying times for everybody, so I hope you and your family and your loved ones are staying healthy and staying safe. So CMB, as a lot of you might know, is one of the oldest active regional centers in the industry, also one of the largest regional centers in the industry. We've had the pleasure of working with over 5,700 clients from around the world. We're very proud of the success that we've been able to deliver to those clients. Now that's something that we take a lot of pride in, something that we're very celebratory of, because track record is so key in EB5. And I would challenge you to find other regional centers that have been able to deliver that level of success to as many limited partners. Now CMB is a lot different than a lot of other regional centers in the industry. One of the things that truly sets us apart is the robust team of professionals that we have day in and day out. Now CMB as a company, we've grown. We originally started with our first regional center, CMB Export, back in 1997, and it was based in California, our geographic scope to operate within California. Today we operate 16 regional centers that give us the ability to take on projects in 22 different states, as well as Washington, D.C. Now, why do we have such a big footprint? Why do we work throughout the country? It's simple. CMB, unlike a lot of other regional centers in EB5, we're not a developer. We're actually out there operating more similarly to a lender, or a traditional lender, or a bank. And so we seek out opportunities that we think are a great fit for EB5. So when we look to structure our EB5 investment partnerships, we use all those core values that were instilled in us from our leadership team, and especially Pat Hogan. We have a simple company motto, and that motto is put our clients first. If our clients have success, we will have success. So focus on their goals first and foremost and above all others. Number one goal of EB5 Investor is to get their green card. How do we do that? We make sure that the projects we select are going to create those jobs. We try and mitigate risk that they won't be able to be completed and they won't be able to create the jobs needed for every EB5 investor to be successful. Second most important goal of every EB5 investor is the safety of their investment, getting their capital back at the end of the day. The same thing holds true. If we pick quality projects, we work with quality developers, those that have a track record of completing their projects, those that have a track record of honoring their commitments to their borrowers. The likelihood is that we'll see a return of that investment capital at the end of the term of the loan that we provide. We look forward to answering any questions that you may have and working with you through each step of your EB5 process.
Very good morning, Mr. Paresh Karia. We are live at the PhD House. To move forward, I would like to say a very good afternoon to all of our current delegates, esteemed panelists, and at the same time, on behalf of PhD, I would like to welcome you for the second edition of Grace Hybrid Expo. This has been a phenomenal week with 40 country representation and about more than 5,000 plus visitor registration in last 1 week. Today, this is one of the concluding sessions for the PhD CCI International Week and Grace 2021. Moving forward, we are going to talk about the global residency and citizenship opportunities in different parts of the world. And to start the second session, we have Mr. Paresh Karia, President and CEO, Equest Advisors. Paresh Karia, CEO, Equest Advisors, is a chartered accountant with over 15 years of experience in banking, investment advisory, immigration, and real estate. In the past, he has worked with renowned banks like HDFC, ICICI Bank, and ABN Amro's private banking. Mr. Paresh, it's a pleasure to have you with us, and I would leave it to you to take things further. you can share your presentation directly with the share button available below you.
Yeah. Thanks, Mayank, for the wonderful introduction. Can you see me?
Yes, we can hear you and we can see you loud and clear, sir.
Yeah. Thanks, Mayank, for that wonderful introduction, and also for the opportunity for allowing us to participate in this seminar as independent experts. Well, the PhD I see is doing a wonderful job of organizing such events and giving international exposure to Indian businessmen and high net worth individuals looking at global opportunities. And we are privileged to be associated with you in this endeavor. Very warm welcome to all the participants who have joined in person as well as virtually. Well, friends, over the last 2 days, I'm sure you have attended many sessions on immigration and had a good look at various programs being offered from countries like US, Canada, and Europe. Well, today, let me help you in understanding what are the important factors that you need to keep in mind in choosing the right immigration path for you based on your profile, your immigration objectives, and your financial situation. We'll also look at some of the compliance and disclosure requirements from Indian perspective, especially taxation and FEMA. Right. Mayank, I'm sorry, I'm trying to share the screen, but somehow I'm not able to share the screen. Yeah.
So can you see it now? Not as yet, sir. I think it's rendering, sir.
Yeah, can you see it now?
No, sir. Shreya, yeah, we can see it now, sir. We can see it. Perfect.
Yeah, right. Thank you. Right. So a little bit about us. We are immigration advisors based out of Mumbai, and we have offices across India. We specialize in business immigration as well as immigration by investment to US, Canada, and European countries. Mayank has already said a lot of good things about me, so I won't take much time. Let us look at the immigration trends. What has been happening over here. So, of course, traditionally for years, Indians have been migrating overseas and mainly for economic opportunities. But of late, what we have seen is that more and more HNIs, more and more successful people are looking at migrating abroad. And, those numbers is increasing every year. The favorite countries among Indian HNIs have been the US, the UK, and the Canada. The US being the number one among them, as can be seen. The US EB-5 visa program, the number of applicants rose almost fourfold from 2016 to 2019. In fact, in 2019, we had overtaken the Chinese in this area with 756 Indian applicants applying for the EB-5 program. However, in 2020 onwards, we have seen that due to increase in the EB-5 investment amount, more and more people are now looking at Canada, and it has become the preferred destination for most of the Indians. Well, of course, apart from Canada, other immigration programs which are quick and easy, like the Portugal Golden Visa, are also getting very popular nowadays. The need for immigration planning. Well, our friends, as you know, immigration is a very important decision for you and your family. It is something like graduating or getting married or buying your first home. It can have far-reaching implications not only on you, but also on your future generations. So it is very important that you plan your immigration journey properly, and you need to choose not only the right destination, but also the right path for your immigration. And you need to take decisions based on your goals, your profile, your specific circumstances and financial situation. We have many clients coming to us, asking us what is the best way or what is the fastest way of, let's say, moving to US. Now, I would say that if you are looking at traveling from Delhi to Mumbai, you have various modes available to you. If you are looking at traveling quickly and with comfort, you can travel by plane. On the other hand, if you are looking at economic solutions, then you can travel by train. So it all depends upon what are your requirements and how much you're ready to pay for it. Our approach to immigration. Well, friends, as you know, I come with a financial planning background. I've been a banker and a financial advisor, and we have been following the principles of financial planning to immigration also because we feel that financial planning and immigration are quite similar. So we are applying the principles of financial planning to immigration. So let's see both the processes. When it comes to financial planning, we look at your investment objective, we look at your profile, your funds availability, and based on that, we decide your asset allocation, how much money in equity, how much in debt bonds, how much money in gold, etc. And then we go down deeper and look at the specific investment options and execute your investment plan. So similarly, when it comes to immigration, we look at your immigration objective, your profile, your funds availability. Based on that, we select the country or the program most suitable to you, and then we go down deeper and look at specific investment options for executing your immigration plan. Now, due to paucity of time, I may not be able to explain to you the entire process in detail, but let us look at one of the key components of this process, which is your immigration objective, right? We have been meeting hundreds of clients over the past few years, and based on our experience, we feel that these are some of the key factors, key motivators driving people towards immigration. First and the foremost among them is your children's education and settlement abroad. Thereafter, people are looking at enjoying better quality of life. More and more people are now looking at business expansion or diversification overseas. And last but not the least, Plan B, which is an alternative plan for you and your family, and global mobility. This has become very popular of late. So let us look at what are the various immigration plans available to meet your various objectives. First and the foremost, for children, we Indians attach a lot of significance to children's education and their future and are ready to go to any extent to meet them. Now, the conventional route has been, a lot of us have been sending our children overseas for education, and the route has been that first the child goes on a student visa. After completing the education, they get a job over there, they get a work permit, and after working for a few years, they become eligible for permanent residency. However, there are a lot of hurdles to this route. The first and the foremost is that when you send your child as an international student, you have to pay a huge amount of fee. You end up paying almost 3 to 4 times of what a local student will have to pay. Thereafter, after completing the education, it is difficult to get a job, especially when it comes to US and UK. We all know what are the problems associated with H-1B, right? So, and if you don't get your work permit, you don't get a job, you will have to come back. You will not get a visa. We have heard of many horror stories of students returning from US, UK, and Australia because they were not able to secure a job after completing education. So of late, what we are seeing that more and more people are looking at getting a PR first and then sending their children there for education as local residents. There are many benefits associated with this. The first and the foremost being that there is a substantial saving in tuition fees. You will end up paying almost 1/4 or 1/5 of what you would pay as international student. Secondly, after completing your education, if you are a local resident, then you stand a better chance of getting job through campus placement. Many companies are reluctant to offer jobs to people who do not have a residency permit because it is difficult for them to procure a work permit for foreign students. Also, you can, with the family, PR, you can stay with your child and look after them while they are studying over there. And ultimately, if not now, in future, if you have the PR, you can move over there, enjoy a good quality of life and various other benefits. Right? The other objective is, of course, many of you have now been successful in your business. You have arrived in your life, and now you would like to enjoy the fruits of all your hard work and have a good quality of life. So you may be looking at migrating abroad. So those who are looking at a very easy process, you can look at the USA EB-5 Regional Center program, under which you need to invest $900,000 in a regional center project. So this process is very easy. All you need to do is invest money. It's a passive investment. You don't need to go to US. You don't need to set up any business. You don't need to meet any language requirement or education requirement. All you need to do is invest money. Right? For those of you who would not want to commit such a huge investment, or looking at other countries, preferably closer to the home country, I think Portugal Golden Visa is a very good option. It is a very quick and easy option. You will get your residency permit under this option within 1 year. And the process is very easy. All you need to do is invest either 350,000 euros or 500,000 euros in a property or a fund in Portugal. You have an option of buying your own property, which you can enjoy. You can stay over there, or you can put it up on rent and earn rental income, and it remains under your control. The other good thing about the Portugal Golden Visa program is that you are not required to live in Portugal. You have to stay there only for 7 days in a year to maintain your residency conditions. And after fulfilling the residency condition 5 years, you become eligible for applying for Portuguese citizenship and thus the Portuguese passport, which is a very powerful passport. So friends, you can see that, through this option, you can continue to remain in India and build a viable option for you to move overseas whenever required. Also, for those of you who are planning at retirement, Portugal again remains a very attractive destination. In fact, Portugal is the #1 destination for retirement. And we have seen that a lot of people from Europe as well as US, from countries like UK, France, etc., are buying properties in Portugal and moving over there on retirement. Portugal offers a lot of benefits in terms of pleasant weather, lots of sunshine, beaches, and above all, a very affordable lifestyle. For those of you who are looking at business expansion, we have seen that Indian businessmen have been very successful and they have become more confident and ambitious of late, and they have global aspirations. So those of you who are looking at starting up a new business overseas, you can look at the USA EB-5 direct program, under which you can invest 1.8 million or $900,000 depending upon the location in your own business, and you can get PR for the family. However, this is easier said than done, because apart from the huge investment, you also need to fill other conditions with regard to job creation. You need to create minimum of 10 jobs for the residents. Hence, not too many people are looking at this option. So compared to US, Canada offers a much better option for business immigration. You need to invest just about 1 crore or so in your business over there, and there are no stringent requirements with regard to your business, job creation. However, you need to meet conditions with regard to education, English language, business experience, etc. Also, many countries have now what is known as a visa to attract entrepreneurial talent. So if you are an entrepreneur with innovative business idea and you have a good track record in entrepreneurship, you can move to countries like UK or Canada through this visa. Canada has a startup visa program under which you can, take your business idea over there and you can directly get a PR. Not only that, you can also get funding for your idea from a venture capital fund or angel investor. Similarly, UK has an innovator visa under which they have recently started, under which you need to invest just 50,000 sterling pound in your innovative business, and you can get this visa and you can move to UK and also settle there ultimately. As far as business expansion is concerned, many of these countries also allow you to open branch office over there. If you have a successful business in India with sizable turnover and good number of employees, then you can set up a branch or a subsidiary or an affiliate company in either US, Canada, or UK, and you can transfer a senior management employee, including an owner, to your overseas branch to look after the business operations over there. And this can ultimately lead to PR. Now, this is very good for large family businesses where some family members would like to be in India, look after the Indian business, and other family members would like to take the business global. The last motive which people are looking for, which has become popular of late, is creating a plan B. A lot of people are looking at an option of migrating abroad should the situation arise. We have seen that, due to COVID or maybe because of political uncertainty or other such situation in a home country, you would like to have a backup option where you can move quickly with your family. So the Portugal Golden Visa offers this option. Like we have seen earlier, you can continue to look after your business and other interests and live in India and create this backup option. All you need to do is, migrate, spend 7 days in a year in Portugal, which is very easy. And after 5 years, you can get a citizenship. Also, those of you who are looking at global mobility, we have, we have seen that after 5 years, you can get a Portuguese passport, which is a very powerful passport. It is ranked ahead of US, Canada, and UK. You can travel to more than 180 countries. And these countries include your Canada, USA, whole of North America, whole of Europe, Australia, New Zealand, etc., etc. Most of the countries where Indians prefer to travel, you can travel visa-free with a Portuguese passport. So friends, these have been some of the programs we have seen, which based on your investment objective or your immigration objective, you can select. Now let us come to the compliance part of it. Of late, we have seen that the compliance, the disclosure requirement in India is not only increasing because it is becoming more and more stringent. So you need to ensure that you comply with all these conditions. You need to dot all the I's and cross all the T's. Let us look at some of the compliance requirement. As you are aware that under the liberalized remittance scheme, you can remit $250,000 US per family member every year. Well, when it comes to family members, you need to plan it properly. You need to keep in mind that there is a clubbing provision, and it's not simple that all the family members can put their investment into one asset. It has to be done properly. Also, for those of you who are planning at migrating abroad, it is important that you start utilizing your limit every year and start accumulating funds and building up your assets over here for future immigration or other investment. Source of funds documentation. Those of you who know about the EB-5 program, US EB-5 program, know that this is an important component for the program. However, apart from the requirement, foreign requirement, this is becoming an important requirement from an Indian perspective. When you are remitting money abroad, your income tax officer will get the information, and you are likely to get an inquiry asking you as to how you have got the money which you are sending abroad. So you should be in a position to explain the same through appropriate disclosures in your income tax returns. Also, double taxation and tax credits on the income that you earn on investment from overseas is an important component, and you need to keep that in mind. Also, many people come to us and ask us whether they can borrow money to invest overseas. Well, it's not that easy. Whether you are borrowing from India or whether you're borrowing overseas for an overseas investment, there are a lot of factors that need to be kept in mind. If you're borrowing in your individual capacity, then it is difficult. If you're borrowing as a company, then yes, it is possible that you may be able to borrow, provided you meet certain conditions. So friends, these are some things which you need to keep in mind. With that, I would like to end my presentation. If you have any queries, if you have any questions, you are more than welcome to contact us. And I would like to thank Mayank and the PhD Chamber of Commerce once again for giving us this opportunity of talking to you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. It was lovely having you, and we look forward to having you physically next year when we are celebrating our PHDCC International Week in 2022 from 7 to 11 of March. So the dates are already out, and we have also announced it physically as well as virtually on all our platforms to go with. And it was lovely having you, sir, and hope that we have this association for a long term now, and we keep on rolling the stone. The kind of presentation which you have given is pretty holistic, and I think you have covered all the aspects from a perspective of a layman, because normally what happens is we jump to the chapter 2 without reading the chapter 1 when it comes to investments, specifically when it comes to investments for taking up residency citizenship. So the steps that you have covered in terms of the legalities that one has to go through and the finances too, it was pretty holistic. Thank you so much for that, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. Yeah.
Pleasure, sir. So moving on, we have Mr. Rahim Lakhani's message from the Lakhani Group of Family Offices. But before that, I would like to give my concluding remarks for this particular session as we are closing off for Grace 2021. I would like to thank all our EB-5 partners, CMB Regional Centers, EB-5 Marketplace, First Pathway Partners, Golden Gate Global, Green Mountains Regional Center, Pine State Regional Center, our associate partner, Golden Visa Greece by Angropolis. Then our session partners, Embassy of Estonia, our conference partners, Arton Capital, Henley Partners, Sterling Finance, UK Limited, Migrate World, and the event was supported by Invest in USA, Ajmera Law Group, Krypton Global Investments, Equest Advisors, and the Lakhani Group. So, moving on for the last session of the day, I would like to invite Mr. Rahim Lakhani, President and CEO. Rahim Lakhani is a seasoned real estate investor that owns and operates a multi-million-dollar portfolio of properties in Portugal, Canada, USA, and India. He has extensive field experience in managing large-scale projects as Bruce Nuclear Power and Ontario Power Generation as senior engineer. He worked extensively in European, American, Canadian, and Southeast Asian, and currently invests in the market of distressed assets and restructuring of companies in the advanced operational stages. Rahim holds a degree in engineering from University of Waterloo. He is a former chairman of the Jubilee Real Estate Alliance in Ontario. So we are going to start with the message by Mr. Rahim Lakhani, and I once again thank all our participants who have joined us physically and virtually for this particular Grace 2021 edition. It has been a fantastic week to go with more than 5,000 registered visitors and about 40 country representations. We have heard about different forms of residency and citizenship programs being offered in different parts of the world, and it has been a phenomenal experience to go with. So we hope to bring such more experiences to you in the coming year as well. And we thank you. Stay safe, stay healthy. Namaste. Thank you so much. Shreya, can we go with the message of Mr. Rahim Lakhani, please? Thank you.
Hello there. My name is Rahim Lakhani, and I am the president and CEO of the Lakhani Group in Portugal. We are seasoned real estate investors that owns and operates a multi-million-dollar portfolio of properties in Portugal, Canada, USA, and India. In my initial years as an engineering graduate from University of Waterloo in Canada, I worked extensively in engineering projects, multi-billion-dollar projects actually, at Bruce Nuclear Power and Ontario Power Generation in Toronto, Canada. My real estate development experience lies extensively in European, American, Canadian, and Southeast Asian markets. Currently, we invest in the market of distressed assets and restructuring of companies in the advanced operational stages in Portugal. To assist with our investors locally, I have also obtained certification in marketing of credit to consumers, marketing of mortgage credit, and credit intermediation. I've held mortgage broker license with the Financial Services Commission of Ontario and licensed exempt market dealer through IFIC, which is Investment Funds Institute of Canada. I'm also the former chairman of Jubilee Real Estate Alliance in Ontario that focuses on working in the real estate sector in an alliance-based format so that savings can be distributed to all. As the president and CEO, I proudly present to you the Lakhani Group Family Office, a family-owned real estate company generated by operators with a long-term view of the world. We have strong family values that we inculcate in the business to stabilize the structure and dynamics of the projects. Our areas of focus are to acquire, rehabilitate, and develop large-scale assets. In addition, though, we also offer services for Golden Visa. Further, we also provide assistance in financing of private residential and commercial mortgages, raising private equity capital for development and for stabilized projects. We are always linked and alert, aware of our evolving trends and transitionary fads, using our industry-wide knowledge and our local expertise to deliver the best possible asset performance with the least possible volatility and the greatest potential for dependable, growing, long-term returns. So you may ask, what is Golden Visa? The Portugal Golden Visa program, also known as the Residence Permit for the Investment Activity, is a residency by investment scheme designed for non-EU citizens. Portugal launched this program in October of 2012. The main objective was to attract international capital into the country, as it was in much need after the 2008 economic crisis. The program proved to be a great success, raising 6 billion euros in a little over 9 years. Portugal's Golden Visa Permit program, also known as ARI, enables non-EU EEA citizens to obtain a special temporary residence permit in exchange for 5-year investment in Portugal. You may ask, what are the benefits of a European Union passport? Well, Portugal offers a dreamy landscape, a wide coastline, a climate full of sunshine, hospitable people, and delicious cuisine. Better yet, it provides the high quality of life at a very, very affordable price. These features make Portugal a very attractive destination for the international investors to invest in and obtain the right to live, work, study in the country. Furthermore, the Portugal Golden Visa program provides the opportunity to become a permanent resident or a citizen in Portugal in only 5 years. Let's go through the benefits. The number one benefit is no need for visas. If you have already traveled to Europe, you would know that most US, Australian, Canadian, and New Zealand citizens can enter the EU without a visa. However, they cannot live, work, or study in the EU for more than 90 days out of every 6 months. If you qualify for the EU citizenship, you can travel between the 28 member states freely with no visas and remain there with no restrictions. Further, you can travel up to 180 countries visa-free, and this includes the US, Australia, Canada, UK, and other developing nations. Well, that's number one. Benefit number two, full working and residential rights. Citizens of the European Union, nationals of the European Economic Area, EEA, and Switzerland are legally entitled to stay, work, and look for work in any of the EU member states. Trying to get an employee-sponsored visa if you're not an EU citizen can be very expensive and difficult. European employers look for more mobile, culturally aware, bilingual professionals with experience in the international settings. They prefer to work with dual citizens as they do not need the complicated permits or visas. Number three benefit, subsidized tertiary education and scholarships. There are many reasons to study in the EU: reputable universities, opportunities for international networking and career development, famously diverse cities, high quality of life, and of course, 28 different countries with free or very, very affordable tuition fees. Across the EU 28, the most popular subsidized degrees include social sciences, journalism, IT, business, admin, and law. It is expected by 2022, 40% of the people aged 30 to 34 in the EU will have a higher education qualification. Erasmus+, a world-famous exchange program, gives students and academics the opportunity to develop their skills and boost their employment prospects. Over 3 million people so far have taken the advantage of this since 2014. Benefit number four, you can set up and grow your startup or SME anywhere in the EU. As an EU citizen, you can register a company and launch a branch of an existing EU-based business in any EU country, Iceland, Norway, Liechtenstein, quickly and easily. In the most EU countries, you can set up a new company for less than $100 euro in less than 3 working days, completing all procedures online and through a single administrative body. There are many different EU funds and initiatives available to support startups and SMEs, such as the Startup Europe Club, Europe Investment Advisory Hub, or the Startup Europe Partnership Platform. If you're looking to increase the visibility of your business or seek funding, you can register your project on the European Investment Project portal or just contact us for more information. The aim of these initiatives is to remove obstacles for investment, prove technical assistance, and to make better use of the financial resources. Business owners with dual citizenships benefit from the single EU zone without facing restrictions applied for the non-EU citizens. Benefit number 5, the access to national healthcare benefits. Under the current EU laws, EU citizens benefit from the reciprocal healthcare when they are in any of these EU 28 member states. These rights apply whether they are traveling temporarily between EU member states, for example, on a holiday or studying abroad, residing permanently in another EU country, or when traveling to another EU member state just to receive medical treatment. Benefit number 6, fast tracking through customs. If you've ever had to stand in a long queue with non-EU citizens before getting out of the airport, you will appreciate having an EU passport even more. The biggest benefit of all, number 7, is to have a plan B. In today's dynamic and somewhat unstable political and social environment, an EU passport allows unlimited travel, safe passage, and consular assistance for you and your family in situations beyond your control. Priceless, isn't it? The Lakhani Group offers Golden Visa services in 3 main categories. Let's talk about it in more detail. The first category is the investment in direct real estate under your ownership. The first category is the 280K category. This level of investment is available only for properties in low population density areas. For example, the interior territories in the autonomous regions of the Azores and the Madeira Islands. The 350 category, which is at this level of investment, the applicant can purchase real estate located in urban areas, but from January 2022 can only purchase via a Golden Visa property in the interior territories or in Azores and Madeira. Properties must be constructed from more than 30 years ago and in need of refurbishment, which you must have to prove from the local municipality office. The sum for property and reconstruction must reach the 350K minimum investment. The 500K or more category is that you may invest in all types of real estate investments available in Portugal until the new changes are put into place in January 2022. As mentioned, you'll still be able to invest in real estate for the above categories, but going forward, it has to be in commercial offices or touristic developments in the coastal areas of the mainland, and the 500K option will still be eligible for you anywhere in the Azores and Madeira Islands. However, major cities like Lisbon, Porto, Algarve, Prague, and among others will no longer qualify or be eligible for Golden Visa investments if you are investing in properties that are used for habitational purposes. If you're interested in purchasing one of these, please do contact us as soon as possible so we can make your application go speedier. The next category that we offer our services in is in the fund category. The application to the Golden Visa program requires realization of some type of investment. The simplest and the most cost-efficient solution is using an investment fund with the minimum investment of $350,000. There are some really good advantages to investing in the fund. The required value for the investment is lower, $350 versus the $500 for real estate, as an example. It is much more diversified in investment rather than, for example, purchasing a single asset. You do not need to spend any time managing your investment. You do not need to pay any Portuguese tax returns, nor is there any withholding tax. You do not have to spend time scouting property investments or dealing with the extensive paperwork requiring Golden Visa. You can save actually up to 20% of fees and taxes in relation to a normal real estate investment. Besides the investment in the fund, the beneficiary is only required to spend the minimum 1 week per annum in Portugal, which is mandatory for everyone. For 5 years, investors and their families hold a resident permit, and after the 5 years, apply for the European citizenship. There are only a few requirements to make sure that the fund that you are investing is actually a fund applicable for the Golden Visa regime. The fund has to be registered by the Portuguese legislation under the authorities of CMVM, which is the Securities Regulator for Portugal. It has to have a minimum of 5 years minimum maturity for the chosen investment. 350K, as mentioned, is the minimum capital transfer, and 60% of the investments must be realized in the commercial companies that have offices in Portugal. If they do not meet this category, then the investment could stand a risk of being cancelled. The third category, which we also have made investments in, it is the company category, which is the capital transfer of, again, 350,000 or higher in the constitution of a commercial society with head office in Lisbon. Along with it, we must create 5 permanent jobs for the next 3 years. You can either invest in a company of your own with 100% ownership or invest in a project like ours that allows you to maintain those jobs. So investment in the project that we currently have or investment by purchasing a house is also possible. We can assist you in getting a mortgage for that company as well, because the houses that we have are also pre-qualified. We can provide many comparisons of these 3 categories on our website. So please make sure to download our brochure with the comparison of all 3 before you make such investments. Let's go into more detail about Golden Visa. What are the requirements? The Portuguese Golden Visa program requirements vary accordingly to your level of investment. However, the investor is required to obey pretty much a standard checklist. Well, keep his or her real estate investment for a period of 6 years. The funds must come from outside into Portugal. Valid document for a legal entry and stay in Portugal. No references in the Portuguese immigration or Schengen services. No criminal record. Stay in Portugal for a minimum of 14 days in the first 2 years and 21 days in the next 3 years. And now let's discuss what are the basic costs of application of Golden Visa. Besides the level of investment in real estate or funds or the company category, the applicant will have other associated costs such as down payment for the property, which is made in cash, as well as the legal documentation necessary to submit, which may also have other level associated costs. Well, buying real estate in Portugal attracts certain taxes, stamp duty, and fees. We recommend investors budget for around 6 to 8% in the total. The main element property being property transfer tax, also known as INT. Government fees per family member for application of the Golden Visa fees is 5,336 euros. Renewal fees apply every 2 years in the first time and 3 years in the next. In addition, there is a processing fee on application, and there is also for each member of your family. In addition, the applicants need to plan for lawyers' fees, typically between 5 to 6,000 euros per individual, and then 1,000 for each dependent after that. You can check all the taxes and the costs and associated purchases on our website as well. What are the documentations required now? The amount of documentation needed to acquire the Portugal government permanent residency by investment varies according to the level of investment. Let's see, for a 500,000 euro investment, you will need the following documents. Final deeds of purchases or the promissory contract, also known as CPCV, the declaration issued by the financial institution, registered or accredited in the national territory, which is Portugal, by the Bank of Portugal, confirming an actual international bank transfer for the purchase or for payment as an initial deposit for the sale agreement. Certificate of Land Registry Office issued within 45 days, comprising the registrations, endorsements, and entries in force, and proving the ownership of the real estate, free of any encumbrances, or a certificate of registry comprising the provisional record of purchase and legally feasible with an initial deposit.
Are you seeking a better life for yourself and your family and planning to immigrate? Do you want to send your children abroad for higher education and save up to 80% in foreign education fees? Are you looking for a chance of globally expanding your business? If your answer to these questions is yes, look no further. Ajmera Law Group can turn your dreams into reality. Contact Ajmera Law Group at www.ajmeralaw.com. Call us 9974253030. Write to us info@ajmeralaw.com.
Everybody has different reasons for coming here. Every country is a little bit different, but we work very, very hard to make sure that that is achieved for them and that they're comfortable and that they gain what they want. So a successful investor is successful for us. Welcome to the United States. We're here to assist, to help you get settled in this country, or anything we can do to make sure that their journey and entry and landing in the United States is the best thing that they've ever done in their lives. That's our commitment. That's our objective.
The daughter of an immigrant, I've always had a really big passion for immigration and helping people be able to immigrate to the United States. It's not an easy thing at all by any means. This is really a partnership. It's an honor to be able to help them not only with their immigration process, but also with some of the tertiary things that they may need as well. We really want to make sure that this is a smooth and prosperous journey for you and your family.
On the heels of its successful Phase 1 offering, Pine State Regional Center invites you to learn about Phase 2 of the successful Big River Steel project, a premier project in a rural targeted employment area. Pine State Regional Center is part of an economic development corporation founded by Winthrop Rockefeller in the 1950s, with a 60-year track record of success and integrity, a close working relationship with state and federal government, and a heavy emphasis on risk management. Pine State is an independent regional center and completely aligned with our investors. In July 2019, Pine State successfully finished the EB-5 raise for Phase 1 of the Big River Steel project. Big River Steel is one of the world's most advanced, high-grade steel recycling plants and answers the call of President Trump and the U.S. government to bring back manufacturing industry jobs to the heartland of the United States. Various members of Congress, including former House Judiciary Chairman Bob Goodlatte, have called it the poster project of what EB-5 was meant to be. Phase 1 of this EB-5 project successfully raised $60 million of EB-5 financing, and Big River Steel has already promoted economic growth, improved regional productivity, and created over 10,000 jobs, more than 8 times the jobs needed. Today, Big River Steel is one of the most profitable EB-5 projects ever, with over $1.3 billion in sales and $260 million in EBITDA profit in the first year of full operations. Now, Big River Steel is starting an $870 million expansion to double its capacity and create thousands of more jobs. Pine State's BRS Phase 2 is a unique opportunity for EB5 investors. Our investors will have the benefit of evaluating an expansion project of a company that is already extremely profitable. Using a bridge equity structure, Phase 2 is already fully financed. Big River Steel has an unusually high caliber of equity investors, including Koch Industries, one of the largest private industrial companies in the world, Texas Pacific Group, one of the top private equity groups in the world, and the Arkansas Teachers Retirement System, the largest pension fund in Arkansas. Phase 2 will have a large job cushion, mitigating the risk for a successful I-829 process. And finally, the project is located in a true rural targeted employment area and will continue to benefit from a lower investment price level. On behalf of Pine State Regional Center, we welcome your interest and look forward to working with you.
Living in uncertain times. We are currently in the harshest economic period since the Great Depression, with unemployment reaching levels not seen since 1933. During these times, we need to come up with untraditional and creative solutions. The EB5 program, which allows qualified international investors to help spur economic development and job creation projects, is that solution. This program has been in place for 30 years and has proven to be effective during a recession. Between fiscal year 2008 and fiscal year 2015, as the nation looked to recover from the Great Recession, EB5 was an economic catalyst, creating and saving 730,000 jobs and generating over $20.6 billion in economic investment, all at no cost to the U.S. taxpayer. In fact, EB5 investors are taxed on worldwide income, contributing significantly to U.S. tax revenue. The program requires each investor to invest a minimum of either $900,000 or $1.8 million into our economy, and each investment must create or save at least 10 American jobs in order to qualify for a visa. This program has operated for 30 years with tremendous success and has the potential to make an even greater impact, which would give our economy the spark that it needs right now. Now that you understand how EB5 investments impact our economy, consider this. Every year, the United States allocates 10,000 EB5 visas. However, right now, EB5's true power is restrained by counting an investor's family members as part of the 10,000 visa allocation, leaving only 1/3 of the 10,000 visas for investors. Not counting family members from the annual EB5 visa allocation unleashes EB5's full potential. If each visa applicant invests the minimum $900,000, those 10,000 visas would equal $9 billion in investments. And $9 billion would stimulate so much more. These investments would trigger a catalytic impact across the country. With these changes, this program has the potential to generate at least $9 billion, as well as create or save at least 288,000 jobs every year. This will create a domino effect that will have exponential growth results and spark more investment and job creation in our economy. We now urge Congress to reform and reauthorize this program to meet the unique challenges created by COVID-19. Show your support for the long-term reauthorization of the EB5 program that has historically helped create and save hundreds of thousands of American jobs. Sign IIUSA's public letter of support to Congress by visiting iiusa.org/letter.
Hi, I'm Matt Hogan, Vice President of Project Development for CMB Regional Centers. I want to thank you for joining us here virtually. I know it's trying times for everybody, so I hope you and your family and your loved ones are staying healthy and staying safe. So CMB, as a lot of you might know, is one of the oldest active regional centers in the industry, also one of the largest regional centers in the industry. We've had the pleasure of working with over 5,700 clients from around the world. We're very proud of the success that we've been able to deliver to those clients. Now that's something that we take a lot of pride in, something that we're very celebratory of, because track record is so key in EB5. And I would challenge you to find other regional centers that have been able to deliver that level of success to as many limited partners. Now CMB is a lot different than a lot of other regional centers in the industry. One of the things that truly sets us apart is the robust team of professionals that we have day in and day out. Now CMB as a company, we've grown. We originally started with our first regional center, CMB Export, back in 1997, and it was based in California, our geographic scope to operate within California. Today we operate 16 regional centers that give us the ability to take on projects in 22 different states, as well as Washington, D.C. Now, why do we have such a big footprint? Why do we work throughout the country? It's simple. CMB, unlike a lot of other regional centers in EB5, we're not a developer. We're actually out there operating more similarly to a lender, or a traditional lender, or a bank. And so we seek out opportunities that we think are a great fit for EB5. So when we look to structure our EB5 investment partnerships, we use all those core values that were instilled in us from our leadership team, and especially Pat Hogan. We have a simple company motto, and that motto is put our clients first. If our clients have success, we will have success. So focus on their goals first and foremost and above all others. Number one goal of EB5 Investor is to get their green card. How do we do that? We make sure that the projects we select are going to create those jobs. We try and mitigate risk that they won't be able to be completed, and they won't be able to create the jobs needed for every EB5 investor to be successful. Second most important goal of every EB5 investor is the safety of their investment, getting their capital back at the end of the day. The same thing holds true. If we pick quality projects, we work with quality developers, those that have a track record of completing their projects, those that have a track record of honoring their commitments to their borrowers. The likelihood is that we'll see a return of that investment capital at the end of the term of the loan that we provide. We look forward to answering any questions that you may have and working with you through each step of your EB5 process.
Are you seeking a better life for yourself and your family and planning to immigrate? Do you want to send your children abroad for higher education and save up to 80% in foreign education fees? Are you looking for a chance of globally expanding your business? If your answer to these questions is yes, look no further. Ajmera Law Group can turn your dreams into reality. Contact Ajmera Law Group at www.ajmeralaw.com. Call us 997425 3030. Write to us info@ajmeralaw.com.
Everybody has different reasons for coming here. Every country is a little bit different, but we work very, very hard to make sure that that is achieved for them and that they're comfortable and that they gain what they want. So a successful investor is successful for us. Welcome to the United States. We're here to assist, to help you get settled in this country, or anything we can do to make sure that their journey and entry and landing in the United States is the best thing that they've ever done in their lives. That's our commitment. That's our objective.
As the daughter of an immigrant, I've always had a really big passion for immigration and helping people be able to immigrate to the United States. It's not an easy thing at all by any means. This is really a partnership. It's an honor to be able to help them not only with their immigration process, but also with some of the tertiary things that they may need as well. We really want to make sure that this is a smooth and prosperous journey for you and your family.
On the heels of its successful Phase 1 offering, Pine State Regional Center invites you to learn about Phase 2 of the successful Big River Steel project, a premier project in a rural targeted employment area. Pine State Regional Center is part of an economic development corporation founded by Winthrop Rockefeller in the 1950s. With a 60-year track record of success and integrity, a close working relationship with state and federal government, and a heavy emphasis on risk management, Pine State is an independent regional center and completely aligned with our investors. In July 2019, Pine State successfully finished the EB-5 raise for Phase 1 of the Big River Steel project. Big River Steel is one of the world's most advanced, high-grade steel recycling plants and answers the call of President Trump and the U.S. government to bring back manufacturing industry jobs to the heartland of the United States. Various members of Congress, including former House Judiciary Chairman Bob Goodlatte, have called it the poster project of what EB-5 was meant to be. Phase 1 of this EB-5 project successfully raised $60 million of EB-5 financing, and Big River Steel has already promoted economic growth, improved regional productivity, and created over 10,000 jobs, more than 8 times the jobs needed. Today, Big River Steel is one of the most profitable EB5 projects ever, with over $1.3 billion in sales and $260 million in EBITDA profit in the first year of full operations. Now, Big River Steel is starting an $870 million expansion to double its capacity and create thousands of more jobs. Pine State's BRS Phase 2 is a unique opportunity for EB5 investors. Our investors will have the benefit of evaluating an expansion project of a company that is already extremely profitable. Using a bridge equity structure, Phase 2 is already fully financed. Big River Steel has an unusually high caliber of equity investors, including Koch Industries, one of the largest private industrial companies in the world, Texas Pacific Group, one of the top private equity groups in the world, and the Arkansas Teachers Retirement System, the largest pension fund in Arkansas. Phase 2 will have a large job cushion, mitigating the risk for a successful I-829 process. And finally, the project is located in a true rural targeted employment area and will continue to benefit from a lower investment price level. On behalf of Pine State Regional Center, we welcome your interest and look forward to working with you.
Living in uncertain times. We are currently in the harshest economic period since the Great Depression, with unemployment reaching levels not seen since 1933. During these times, we need to come up with untraditional and creative solutions. The EB5 program, which allows qualified international investors to help spur economic development and job creation projects, is that solution. This program has been in place for 30 years and has proven to be effective during a recession. Between fiscal year 2008 and fiscal year 2015, as the nation looked to recover from the Great Recession, EB5 was an economic catalyst, creating and saving 730,000 jobs and generating over $20.6 billion in economic investment, all at no cost to the U.S. taxpayer. In fact, EB5 investors are taxed on worldwide income, contributing significantly to U.S. tax revenue. The program requires each investor to invest a minimum of either $900,000 or $1.8 million into our economy, and each investment must create or save at least 10 American jobs in order to qualify for a visa. This program has operated for 30 years with tremendous success and has the potential to make an even greater impact, which would give our economy the spark that it needs right now. Now that you understand how EB5 investments impact our economy, consider this. Every year, the United States allocates 10,000 EB5 visas. However, right now, EB5's true power is restrained by counting an investor's family members as part of the 10,000 visa allocation, leaving only 1/3 of the 10,000 visas for investors. Not counting family members from the annual EB5 visa allocation unleashes EB5's full potential. If each visa applicant invests the minimum $900,000, those 10,000 visas would equal $9 billion in investments. And $9 billion would stimulate so much more. These investments would trigger a catalytic impact across the country. With these changes, this program has the potential to generate at least $9 billion, as well as create or save at least 288,000 jobs every year. This will create a domino effect that will have exponential growth results and spark more investment and job creation in our economy. We now urge Congress to reform and reauthorize this program to meet the unique challenges created by COVID-19. Show your support for the long-term reauthorization of the EB5 program that has historically helped create and save hundreds of thousands of American jobs. Sign IIUSA's public letter of support to Congress by visiting iiusa.org/letter.
Are you seeking a better life for yourself and your family and planning to immigrate? Do you want to send your children abroad for higher education and save up to 80% in foreign education fees? Are you looking for a chance of globally expanding your business? If your answer to these questions is yes, look no further. Ajmera Law Group can turn your dreams into reality. Contact Ajmera Law Group at www.ajmeralaw.com. Call us 997425 3030. Write to us info@ajmeralaw.com.